Today, we're here as the National Council of Churches of Kenya to give a message of hope to the nation of Kenya at this trying time, with a message of, with oneness of heart, we shall overcome. The Executive Committee of the National Council of Churches of Kenya held an extraordinary meeting on a virtual platform to transact statutory business and to reflect of matters of national concern. We recognize that the whole world is currently experiencing a great trial that is forcing us to change how we live and carry out our business. We appreciated that the Bible teaches us that with oneness we shall overcome the challenges we are facing, as we read in Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 38 to 39. And I quote, "They will be my people, and I will be their God. I'll give them singleness of heart and action, so that they will always fear me for their own good and for the good of their children after them." The Executive Committee wishes to urge all Kenyans to take to heart that even though COVID-19 pandemic is still spreading in our country, it is temporary and we will triumph over it in a short while. In the meantime, however, we need to change our lifestyles where necessary to adapt to this new season. We indeed learn from the Bible that when pandemic strikes, there is need for social distancing and isolation among the people, as we read in the book of Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 20, which says, "Go, my people, enter your rooms and shut the doors behind you. Hide yourself for a while until his wrath has passed by." We in this regard recommend to all Kenyans the following measures to protect themselves and others from COVID-19. 1. Faithfully observe the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Health. That is to ensure we wash our hands with soap frequently, use alcohol-based sanitizers, wear face mask every time you are outside your home, keep a distance of at least 4 feet from other people, and work from home as much as possible. 2, adapt your livelihood engagement to the changing circumstances so that you work differently. 3, realize that COVID-19 is coming home to our communities. The government of Kenya is rolling out the home-based care for those who test positive but do not have symptoms. Please read and understand the home-based care guidelines that will be issued by the Ministry of Health so that you are ready to use your household as a place for isolating some of those COVID-affected persons. 4, enhance your farming engagements by setting up gardens and harnessing irrigation in view of the anticipated food shortages. On its part, we urge the government to put in place subsidies to support farmers countrywide. And 5, we encourage the Ministry of Health. We recommend that the Ministry of Health adopts the Cuban model of care so as to ensure a successful home-based care framework and protocol. In Cuba, the model is more emphasis on prevention. We should not have a model that focuses more on the curative, but on the prevention, going from home to train people, to educate them, and to test them so that we prevent the spread of coronavirus. On its part, we call upon the government to initiate measures meant to empower the country to deal with the pandemic effectively. Towards this, we recommend the following. 1, we recognize that thousands of Kenyans have lost jobs and businesses. The government needs to support them to develop alternative livelihoods so that the society does not break down. With clear people-centered policies, we as a country can thrive so that COVID-19 does not further impoverish our people. In this regard, we urge the government to initiate structured consultation with small-scale traders and producers to establish ways in which they can be supported to sustain their livelihoods. 2, we urge the Micro and Small Enterprise Authority to develop protocols through which the government can support small and micro enterprises to withstand the impact of the pandemic. Number 3, the government to engage and empower mission and church-owned health facilities to supplement the treatment of COVID-19 cases. And number 4, that the fund be set aside to support actors in the hospitality industry, and this be extended to support church-owned hotels and resorts that have been hit hard by the pandemic. Number 5, that the Ministry of Industry and Trade facilitates speedy establishment of factories to produce the required testing and treatment materials, as well as personal protective equipments, so that the nation stops depending on expensive imports. Further, this executive committee was deeply concerned about the reports that the country does not have enough reagents to undertake the testing of COVID-19 and release the results when they are due. We urge the Ministry of Health and the National Treasury to be transparent and accountable for every shilling committed by the government of Kenya to fight COVID. Kenyans have expressed their pain and anger at the apparent corruption in the Ministry of Health. We urge the Cabinet Secretary to deal with the matter once and for all. And we urge the Anti-Corruption Commission to remain vigilant and take necessary action.